What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome to another Resplendent review. This time I'm going to be taking a look at Innes and I'll be going over the builds that you can run on him, and at the end I'll have a special bonus segment. So Innes is a Gen 1 colorless infantry archer with Nidhogg as his preferred weapon. So this does have his refine, but it's definitely pretty outdated. It does have the Owl Tome effect where he can get extra stats depending on the adjacent allies ×2. And then with the weapon refine, he basically has the water sweep effect where the magical and the dragon foes can not really counter attack. So while this is going to be good and it is going to be unique, ultimately he doesn't really get too much stats out of this weapon, and it doesn't really stand up to the modern preferred weapons that we have now. But at least he's going to be having workable offenses at max investment with base 35 attack and base 36 speed, and he is going to be having a lot more resistance than most of the archers, but with this weapon, there's no way of using it productively, and there's just insane competition among the archers. Even a lot of the free-to-play archers can match him and do a similar role. And his weapon is a bit outdated, so he's going to be waiting for the arcane weapon, or you just can run the inedible weapons that we have now. So if you take a look at the comparison between young Innes and Innes, you'll see that both of them pretty much function similarly offensively, but young Innes has got a much better preferred weapon where he can actually pierce through the damage reduction skills. So his weapon, despite being a free-to-play unit, is a lot better. We can also see that a new archer like AETHER, who does not really take that many dragon flowers, is going to be able to function similarly offensively while also having a lot higher attack than Innes. So Innes's a lot of allocation of resistance doesn't really do much for him because that weapon of his doesn't really use his resistance productively, and ultimately offensively archers are going to be functioning with something like Whitecap Bow Plus if they don't really have a good preferred weapon, or they're going to be waiting for Arcane Bow. So that is going to be Innes. Unfortunately, he is 5-star logged and he is going to be facing a ton of competition when it comes to the stat spread. But if you want to build him up on a budget, then you can definitely go with Speed Resistance form from a 4-star Rat, and you can just run Speed Res Link and reposition from a Cat. And that is going to be a nice budget option here because he already has the Owl Tome effect. So by using the double form skills, you're going to be able to make use of it. And if you're going to be investing more into him and heavily into him, then Whitecap Bow Plus is going to be the offensive option here, as it is for most of the archers. So you can definitely try and get a lot of the fodder from the divine codes like Attack Speed Ideal 4 for example, and just run Null Follow-Up in his slot B. And slot C is definitely flexible here. You can just run a budget option like Savage Blow and mainly focus on the player phase with Blade Session. And if you're going to be running Nidhogg even at high investment, then a Unity skill is going to be perfect with it. So with this condition, you do need to be near the allies, and in that case, Unity skill is going to be having the perfect synergy here, and you can also run Null Follow-Up and also run Time Pulse so that Deadeye becomes a 2 cooldown special. You can work with Deadeye, but you're going to be needing some kind of way of bringing it down to 2 cooldown so that you can trigger that in a single round of combat. With how fast Innes can get, Null Follow-Up is definitely going to be the option here, either as a slot B skill or as a Sacred Seal. And again, Attack Speed form is going to be having good synergy with the Unity skill and his Nidhogg's condition. If you want to invest even more into the Whitecap Bow Plus and make him even more offensive, then Attack Speed Finish 4 is going to be the option here because it can give you the healing and it can also give you the true damage, which is just perfect. So you can run the tempo skill with Time Pulse, and by running a 2 cooldown special like Moonbow or Ruptured Sky, and you're going to be able to trigger the special on the Brave Hit, which is going to be really helpful. And with Null Follow-Up Sacred Seal being available, you can easily run the tempo skill in slot B and pretty much run a build like this and trigger your 2 cooldown special on the Brave Hit and do quite a bit of damage. You can also run him with Attack Speed Finish 4 and with an Oath 4 skill. So an Oath 4 skill is going to be helping you get even more offenses, which is definitely needed for an older unit like him. So this is just stacking up all the attack and speed that he can and running him with these expensive skills and making him work as an offensive archer. I wish Innes had a better preferred weapon because he's not really easy to merge up, and there's just so much competition when it comes to an archer. So I've improved his weapon refine, and the first thing I've given him is definitely -1 special cooldown, which is going to be working really well with the other condition of this weapon. He's going to be getting +5 to all of his stats, and similar to young Innes, he's going to be able to pierce through the damage reduction skills by using his special. So he is not going to be needing to run Deadeye. He can just run Iceberg and make use of his resistance productively and still pierce through a lot of the damage reduction skills, just like his younger self. So his younger self definitely gives us a inspiration in how his weapon can be improved. And because he does have more resistance, I've given him true damage based on 20% of his resistance, so that is going to be helping him do more damage, which is always good. And then with the weapon refine, he's going to be getting another round of +5 to all of his stats, and he actually gets half null follow-up, which is going to be perfect because he already has water sweep in his weapon refine, and by running wind sweep with this half null follow-up, he's not going to be caring about any kind of counter attacks. So that's why half null follow-up is really good, and it's also a really nice offensive effect as well. And then I'm going to leave the fact that magical and dragon foes cannot really counter attack, so that is going to be still there in his weapon refine to make it unique. And this is definitely going to be helping him tremendously because he's going to be able to run time pulse with like moonbow or ruptured sky, just like his younger version, and pierce through the damage reduction. But he's going to be able to do even more because he already has the half null follow-up built into his weapon, and he's not going to be getting counter-attacked by the magical and dragon foes. So let me know in the comments what you think about my Nidhogg re-refined theorycraft in the comment section down below, because I feel like Innes definitely deserves that kind of better weapon so that he's, worth that 5-star rarity, and his art is definitely top tier with this Resplendent. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, then make sure to leave a like and a comment, helps me tremendously. And if you really enjoyed, you could always support me directly by using super thanks down below or by becoming a YouTube member. And for more FEH videos, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell because YouTube sub boxes are about as functional as the Altum effect if you do not have any adjacent allies. So with that said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.